Hello, Sam here. Recap for Eden Forest Collective Night 7. First full week complete. I'm gonna keep it sweet and short tonight because I am so tired, but I have so much to share, but I'm gonna keep it short. I was so productive today. Oh my god. Wait, let me start with yesterday because I skipped yesterday's recap because I went back to LA and I saw a client. Yesterday was great, amazing, and hard. Well, first of all, my homies, my besties, my roomies came up to visit me to the farm. I was so happy to show them around. I did a lot of working out and music rehearsal and talking to my boo-boo. And then I participated in this workshop, and I think it was called water dance. And it's this beautiful practice where you like dance with the water. And it started with like a very beautiful long prayer in the river. We released what we wanted to release and then gave gratitude and did some manifesting and, some context for what I'm about to say. I released a couple of things very specifically. I released 2 things, but then I let spirit know, like, if there's anything else that needs to be released, you let me know, like, and be kind of call-y about it. Like, take it out. Like, just get it the fuck out of me. Like, I'm ready. Help me release it. And then after that, we did this part of the workshop. It was more somatic, where we talked about how the body, well, in general, the body is 70% water. But molecularly speaking, each molecule is like 90. I can't remember if she said 90 or 99% water, but it was either 90 and 99%. And then we also talked about how our fascia is a web that is also water-based. And our fascia can really harden and contract. And it's like what that web is across our body that creates all this contraction and, like the literal hardness around our muscles. And we talked about how water holds memory. And so our fascia holds a lot of memory, and a lot of trauma really gets stored in fascia. And so we did this exercise to help release the fascia, and a lot came up for me. I'm going to give you guys a little trigger warning, but I'm going to just like talk about this stuff more and more openly because it's really fucking important, and it's really important to talk about it without shame. And the more I talk about it, the more people talk to me about it, and we realize just how much sexual trauma there is on this fucking planet. So trigger warning, but I'm also going to preface that trigger warning by saying that I invite you to sit with the trigger, even if it's challenging or difficult. And of course, take care of yourself. More than anything else, take care of yourself. But try to move through, like, be with me with it, because it's probably bringing something up in you that also needs to be held and released. So I've talked openly about being a survivor of childhood sexual abuse, but I sometimes literally just fucking forget that I'm also a rape survivor. I was raped as an adult when I was 21. And when I think about my sexual trauma, I just always think about and heal and do my inner work on my childhood stuff because it's, so much more intense and formative. But I just fucking fully don't even think about I haven't even thought about it in years, probably like 5 years. And when we were doing that workshop, it came to the surface so intensely so when I was raped, I was drunk. And it came to the surface so intensely that I felt like I was drunk. Like, that's the level to which I was experiencing it in my body, I was like in the state of being that I was in when I was raped. And to be honest, I did not feel like the facilitators did a very good job of holding the safety portion of that container, and they just like moved on really quickly, and they were like, okay, then out to the pool for the water dance section. And I was like, no, I need support. I need to process and ground this and work through this. And if there was going to be a way to like work with it in the water, they did not offer that as a context at all. And so I just sat out of the next portion because I needed to fucking sit with that shit, move through it. And so luckily my besties were here, and they were so sweet and supportive and gave me lots of hugs and held me while I cried and made me a beautiful late lunch, early dinner. Then we went back to LA. And I had a wonderful client last night who's super, super sweet. Honestly, we just like literally watched Sex and the City all night. My favorite client. Anyway. And then today I came back up and I worked on a lot of music, performance and writing, rehearsing and working out and stuff like that throughout the morning and afternoon. And then I did some yoga, and I was stretching my hamstrings. My hamstrings I've identified that they have been like the tightest area of my body. And I know this, that they hold sexual trauma for me. I discovered that maybe like 6 or 7 years ago when I was doing some like deep sexual trauma healing work with a shaman, and I had this like visceral experience in my legs, and I was like, oh, I think that this is why my legs are so tight, is because for whatever reason, like that's part of where my sexual trauma is stored. So I was doing deep work in my hamstrings, and I just like really, especially my right hamstring, I was able to like, because when I was processing, I was about to put it in quotes, but I don't need to, I don't know why. I was processing the trauma that came up yesterday. I was like, this isn't an intellectual process that needs to happen. This is definitely a body thing that needs to happen. And so when I was stretching my hamstrings, a ton came up. I just started like crying and just like kind of like yelling and just like vocalizing and releasing through my throat. And there's still a lot of release that needs to happen there, but I moved through a lot of it today. Just like, yeah, like it's like the physical and the emotional that needs to move. It's like up here, yes, psychologically stuff needs to happen, but honestly, I already processed it psychologically. That's why I haven't thought about it in so many years. I feel like it doesn't really affect me on a daily basis, but my body was still holding it. So I tapped into it a bit today, and I'm really, 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 really proud of myself, and I'm grateful that it came up, even if it wasn't, I think, held in the safest way in the container. I'm grateful that it came up. And I'm not surprised too, because I've been doing a lot of erotic activation and sexual healing work since I've been here with other people. So it wasn't surprising. So, and then, okay, wait, harsh subject change. So that was that part of my day and yesterday. And then the rest of today, I started launching my S.A.S. brand. Let's go. And it's so in alignment too with all this stuff, because my S.A.S. brand, which is my conscious hip hop and bass music, is really about like creating a culture of consent, like moving beyond this patriarchal rape culture bullshit and into feminine authority and consent culture. So good. And so I did my whole branding document, which if you've ever made like a whole branding document, it's fucking long and thorough and thoughtful and precise. And I did all of it. And then I launched my Instagram, and I made the flyer for my first show, which is going to be here at the farm this Saturday. It's going to be my first performance under S.A.S. With all the artists showcasing. Yay, come through and see me. So yeah, that felt so good. Also frustrating because, like always, there's like tech problems and this, that, and the other thing. But I did as much as I possibly could tonight before absolutely passing out. So I'm so proud of myself. Thanks for being here with me through this journey. I love you. And that's all I have to say. Good night.